feels like it needs cutting, doesn't it? Well, I'm not the sole decider on whether my hair needs cutting or not. I think I might have mentioned the other day that I talked about getting it cut. And one of the ladies at this meeting came up to me and said, no, don't get it cut, David. It looks good the way it is. Between that and my wife wanting to leave it like this, but just trim it at the back. Well, I'm a mere male. I just got to go with the flow. And today I've been going with the flow. It's been a really busy day. Thank goodness it's the weekend. But then again, on the weekend, we're often busy, especially if you're a minister or a priest or someone who part of the weekend at least is devoted to service. But anyway, it is the weekend. Tomorrow I have the privilege of helping Reverend Dr. Jesse Jennings, our senior minister, teach a class on earnest homes. It's not one that's open to the public, where it's being taught essentially for people who are in the process of becoming ministers. You know, they got to go through a 3 to 5 year program in order to do that. And part of it involves studying at a master's level, if that's not a misnomer. Well, as I said, today's been a really busy day. I've been on the go this morning since 6:45. And if I look tired, I don't know if I look tired or not. You be the judge of that. But I feel like I'm coming to the end of my ability to continue performing work, quote unquote. So let's get on with it. Today's reading is called The Stir of the Soul, S-T-I-R, The Stir of the Soul. The first quote is from an unknown, anon if you like. I've always been familiar with the term anonymous or unknown as opposed to unknown, but it's the same thing, of course. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. More about that shortly. Albert Einstein said something similar. He said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook on page 244 says, we must not forget that what we call our thought is really the place where we are using the creative mind itself. In other words, Ernest Holmes is saying that as expressions of the one, we use the one mind. Ernest Holmes always taught there is one mind, and we're simply an extension of that one mind, if you like, or an expression of that one mind. And therefore, what we're using is not our own mind. We are using our thoughts and feelings to influence the universal mind, universal subjective. I'm going to read the reading now, then I'll come back and make my comments, because I've had feedback that says some people like me to read the whole reading and then make my observations. Well, I'm going to do that, at least now. Being creative means allowing life to move through you. If you silence your own creativity, refusing to give it expression, you betray yourself. Your creativity comes as a seed to be nurtured by your love and attention. A divine muse drops this seed of an idea, an inkling, a possibility, an image, a vision, or an urge, luring you to come play in the creative field. A new playmate catches you unexpectedly, enticing you out of your linear realm into an imagination of unlimited potential. If you don't believe in your creative expression, it will never see the light of day. It will be challenged by apprehension as your confidence fluctuates. You're an alchemist who brings the hint of the possible into form. The more you illuminate the stir of the soul, the more excited you become to bring it to life, irrespective of what others think. It has chosen you as its place of birth. It will enter this world with your unique characteristics. Be real with what you are loving into reality. If you don't deliver this gift to the world, no one else ever will. It is your contribution to give, and without you, it would never be expressed. Therefore, there are several things here. The first thing is that we are all born with creativity. When we say creativity, most of us, well, at least I did until I was educated and taught otherwise, most of us think of creativity as somebody composing a piece of music, somebody writing a poem, a major poem, someone creating a great work of art like Vincent van Gogh, or Van Gogh if you want to Americanize it, and this type of thing. But that isn't really what creativity is limited to. That is one aspect of creativity. However, we're all creative in different ways. Every single one of us has got the ability to create something. When you create something, you are being creative by definition, right? If you create a spreadsheet, that is an expression of creativity. If you're a scientist and you come up with a new formula, that's creativity. Creativity simply means bringing something into existence that didn't exist before, and bringing it in either mentally or physically or both. That, to me, is what creativity is. It's using our minds or imaginations to bring something about. So it isn't just limited to what we call artists. That's just one form of it. Everything else is creative. You bring something into existence, it's creative. If someone knits a sweater, it's creative. If you think of a new way of expressing something, it's creative. If you find a new way of driving to another destination that you're familiar with, a better way, that is being creative. You're bringing something into existence, either physically or mentally, that didn't exist before. So we're all creative. When Reverend Sorensen talks about alchemists, the alchemists of the late Middle Ages and later Middle Ages, in theory, we're trying to turn a base metal, lead, normally, into gold. That is what most people's idea of an alchemist is. But really and truly, an alchemist is someone who brings something into expression. In other words, when you use spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, or if you like, when you combine, when you tune into your beliefs, when you combine your feelings and your thoughts and something happens, then that is an expression of being an alchemist, of being creative. So my message to all of us today is this: every single one of us, to some extent, is creative. And every time we do something that didn't exist before, bring into existence something that didn't exist before, that is being creative. You figure out a new way to cook a meal, that's being creative. If you find a new way to clean the cat litter boxes, which my wife does occasionally, she'll come up with a different one. People, you can read it online, go on YouTube or whatever, and you can see people come up with really creative ways to clean cat litter boxes. That is all being creative. Everything that is new is produced by someone being creative. So hope I'm not overplaying it, but what I'm saying is every single one of us is creative. And if you don't believe me, look back at your life and you will see there are instances where you have done something that nobody else had ever done before. It may be tiny, it may be massive, I don't know. But you'll find out, if you look hard enough, you'll find that you've done something that nobody else ever did before. Go back to your childhood. Maybe a new way of playing a game when you were a kid. I don't know, something. So the message is this, that we can improve our lives by being creative. In other words, by using our imagination, by adding thought to feeling and coming up with new ways of doing things, we can improve our lives and we can improve the lives of everybody else. I'm a confident creative canal for new possibilities to birth themselves into reality. That's what this is saying. I am a confident creative canal for new possibilities to birth themselves into reality. And as I've said before, if you want to look at it scientifically, it's a quantum collapse. In the quantum field, everything exists in a state of probability. And when a mind is focused on something, that possibility or probability, which is a wave, collapses into a particle and becomes part of the actual physical universe. So that's really all I got to say. So to remind you, Reverend Lisa will be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I really am worn out today. If you see this today, which is Friday, the 5th of April, 2024, just hold some thoughts for me that I get more energy to complete several things I still have to do today. So I would really appreciate it. So until next time, please take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. Self-care is the basis from which we all should operate. Until next time, namaste.